He was the shield of Troy, its greatest warrior. She was the soul of its walls, the heartbeat of its home. Their love was not written in poetry, but in the breathless seconds between battles. In stolen glances, in whispered promises before dawn, in silence that said, "Live." Hector, son of Priam, knew that glory was a double-edged sword. Every victory brought him closer to the fate the gods had already carved in stone. Andromache knew it too. Each time he left through the gates, she counted not the hours, but the chances he might never return. They had a son, Astyanax, small, bright-eyed, unaware of the prophecy that hovered over his cradle. Andromache held him close, but closer still she held her fear. Once, long before the siege, they had walked the gardens of Troy. She wore olive leaves in her hair. He read her verses from forgotten poets. War had not yet touched their laughter then, but it was always coming, like a shadow stretching toward the sun. One evening, as the sun bled into the Aegean Sea, Hector returned, dust on his skin, war in his eyes, love in his arms. He removed his helmet so his son wouldn't cry. He smiled, not as a warrior, but as a father, a man who wished he could be only that. Andromache begged him not to fight again. "Take your place by the hearth," she said, "not the battlefield. Stay with us." But heroes do not get to choose peace. He kissed her forehead, once like a seal, and walked into the twilight. That was the last time she touched him. That night, alone in their chamber, Andromache lit the oil lamp and wrote his name again and again in the dust, as if writing it could keep him alive. On the plains of Ilium, he faced Achilles, a duel not of men, but of fates. Even the gods turned their faces away, for what happened next was not justice. It was inevitability. And when the spear struck true, the world exhaled. The echo of it reached Troy before the messenger did. Troy mourned. Andromache collapsed into the dust of the city she once called home. Her son cried. The people wept. The sky stayed silent. They dragged his body behind a chariot, but they could not drag his name from her heart. She washed his blood from memory with tears, over and over, and still it returned. In her dreams, he stood unbroken. In her arms, he never left. But dreams are crueler than the gods. They always end. The war would end too, but not in time. Troy would fall, Astyanax would be taken, and Andromache would become a widow, a prisoner, a remnant. They said she lived on in another land, quiet, resigned, but her heart never left the ruins. Sometimes she would sing to her son as if Hector were listening, as if the winds carried lullabies to the dead. But love like theirs does not vanish. It echoes, in ruins, in stories, in the wind that moves through hollowed walls.